What's up, guys? In this episode, I go over the slight kind of technical issues that solar guitars are currently experiencing. Stay tuned. What is up, you guys? It's your boy Louis Torres, and today was just one of those days, man. For whatever reason, I ended up getting just a bunch of different guitarists just talking about the issues that they personally had with their solar guitar that they bought. And interestingly enough, the issues tend to be fairly consistent. Even one guy today mentioned that his solar that he bought a year ago, he just noticed today actually had 3 cracks on the ebony fretboard. So, I kind of feel, and, no disrespect with, to Ola or Solar as a company. I just feel like that they could probably do a little better in explaining the situation that they're currently in. Make a video. I don't know, that's just me. Like, make a video where, I kind of feel like I don't want to buy a solar guitar right now. I'm itching for one that looks like, I have it around the corner, that looks just like my Kiesel A6C with a black matte ash body with a maple fretboard. Like, to me, I think that's perfect. I feel like that represents me. I know they actually had one. It wasn't neck through body. It was a bolt on, which would have been fine. But with all of these issues, I sit back and I'm like, I'll just hang on to my money for a while, because I feel like, there are almost too many people saying that they reached out to the company and they didn't do anything, or the resolution was kind of, they didn't feel like spending money to ship a guitar back to Europe and then wait 2 months for it to get resolved and then ship it back. Like, I just think that that's too much time. I feel like, and this is just, the years that I worked on Wall Street is, don't focus 80% of your efforts on the problem and then 20% in resolving that problem. It should just be the complete opposite. Figure out what the issue is and dedicate 15-20% of your time in trying to deconstruct that issue, and then spending 80-85% in resolving it. I feel like one of the things they can do is, instead of getting a guy in the US to be like, hey, I have to spend $150 to ship it back to Europe and then have them ship it back. Like, you don't understand, like, in this, we live in an age of Amazon, where I can buy a car, and if I don't like it after it's been delivered, I can literally have them come and pick it up, and it's not going to cost me anything. It's just how it is. So for the most part, consumers, if they receive an item that they're not content with, maybe it's just a US thing. I don't know. I don't live in the UK or in Europe, in the EU. So, I don't know if that's something that's typical there. But we don't do that here. You can buy 10 guitars right now from Sweetwater, get them all delivered at once, free shipping, open them all up, not like any of them, and ship them back to Sweetwater. They will send you an RMA, so you don't have to pay a single penny to ship back those 10 guitars, and you can get a full refund, period. So aside from the fretboard issue, and I kind of had this issue with my Washburn Solar, which just had the the sharp frets, but that's an easy fix. Anyone can do that. That's no big deal. But keep in mind that this is also an ebony fretboard. And when you look at it, there's absolutely nothing going on. I checked it the other day just in case, and for the heck of it, I'm checking it now again, and it's fine. You know, people have certain issues even on the side of their frets where it almost looks like the paint is rolled back between each fret. So it's just really interesting, and I feel like it's just little stupid things. So what do? You know, a solar artist once told me that Ola can't fly from Sweden to Indonesia. But aside from that, because of COVID, he probably can't. And I went online, did some research on Indonesia, checked their news, and it's not as bad as it is in the United States. So if you live here, there are ridiculous amounts of restrictions here in the US than in Southeast Asia. But aside from that, you know, yes, he can't go to Indonesia. And the guys that are in Spain aren't going to make that trip to Indonesia either. So what do? You literally call the factory in Indonesia and you ask them, what the heck are you guys doing that you have all of my crew in the United States burnt at the fact that they're getting guitars that months later their frets are breaking? You know, and I spoke to a few guys that are really into wood, and they're just like, it typically just means that it wasn't dried efficiently and then it wasn't sealed properly afterwards. It could have just been the fact that it wasn't dried completely, it was just sealed, and it eventually split and cracked months after someone gets it here in the United States. And, you know, unlike Southeast Asia, where it's literally like being in the middle of Florida in the middle of summer, where it's humid as all F, you take that and bring that to New Mexico, Arizona, any of those states in the desert Southwest, Texas, you know, Southern California, bro, everything's going to crack unless it is cured correctly. And that to me is easily rectified with, again, I can't stress, yo, what are you guys doing? You guys are butchering my business right now. I'm a little upset because I have a bunch of upset customers that are trying to figure out why they're spending hundreds of dollars. And we're talking about anywhere between $1,000 to $1,400 after taxes, after shipping is all said and done. You know, that's not cheap. You know, not everyone, you know, dude, some guys spend, you know, a few months saving money on the side just so they can buy a $1,300 guitar. You know, they're not buying a bunch of used $2,000 guitars. Whenever they see one, they're like, I'll get that. A lot of people don't have that luxury. So when you get someone that saves their money and is looking forward to buying the solar guitar because all of their friends have it, their favorite musicians have it, I feel like the resolution isn't too difficult, you know, and I'm a hothead. You know, I'm from Brooklyn. You know, if that were me, if I were Louis Torres, you know, those guys in Indonesia would hate me. I would be calling them every single day. And in fact, if a guitar ended up not being as great as it should, you know what I would do? I would have the factory pay for the shipping. No worries, boss. Yo, just ship that over to us. We'll go ahead and fix it. Call the factory and say, yo, that dude in the US paid 150 bones to get that thing shipped back because you guys dropped the ball with your fret work, with butchering your wood. Like, come on, dude. Like, you can't do that. Yeah, bro, there are guys that have, you know, and these guitars, they're not neck through body, they're set necks, right? So there are guys that literally have cracks on the side here on their set neck. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's not glued correctly, was glued and didn't have enough time to be cured, and then they shipped it off. And, you know, imagine that all of these countries, for the most part, it's humid. Dude, it's humid. You know, it's going to take a little bit longer for the glue to cure in Malaysia or Indonesia or in any of those countries in that region than it would in Texas. And that's a given. You know, I don't work in that kind of industry. I don't work in that kind of a factory. I don't, I don't do any of that. But again, it doesn't take a lot to pick up the phone and call and, make someone understand that there's a level of expectation that someone demands. And that's regardless if you're Ola and you're one of the owners, or you're the Spaniard in Spain who gets the guitars there, where they then do the quality control, which I don't understand, because by then it's already too late, right? It might as well just be direct, right? Like if I were to get a guitar from Kiesel, I would get it shipped directly to my house from their factory. But if it's dogged, like, why is someone there blind? Like, are you guys not looking at your final production to make sure it's working? Like, why is it going from Indonesia to Spain? And then those guys are like, look at all these issues, ship it anyway. No, that shouldn't be the case, and, I wasn't even sure if I wanted to make this video. I feel like everyone loves Solar guitars. Clearly I'm a fan. I have an Ola shirt. I have an Ola guitar. I watch the guy's channel, not really fond of the farting and the burping, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like Solar guitars need, what's the typical saying? The squeaky wheel gets the oil. So if you don't squeak loud enough, nothing gets done. So again, like I said, if I were Ola, I would be calling them and making sure that they hate me. But in the end, as long as they're pumping out better quality guitars, when it goes from Indonesia to Spain for the final quality control before they get shipped out, like, dude, those guys in Spain should have the easiest job at that point. Like, train the guys in Indonesia, so when there's an issue with paint, you know what? Reject this one, put it in B stock. Let's get rid of that one. Let's replace it with this other one. Like, I don't get how, it doesn't take a brain scientist, a brain surgeon to figure out that these are all little tiny changes that make a big deal. Like, there's literally an entire Solar Facebook group, and I feel like every other post is someone complaining about the guitar that they got, the guitar that they had that now is cracked. It's just mind-boggling. Like, like someone needs to step up to the plate, call Indonesia and be like, you guys, you guys need to fix this. And don't blame it on COVID, because, if they can pump out 1,000 guitars, then there's got to be enough people there that they can stop production. Hey, all you clowns, we're going to do quality control right now and make sure that every guitar is as perfect as it could possibly be. And if it's not, that's okay. You know what? B stock, my friend. And that gets pushed over to the side. But, I feel like if no one says what I'm saying right now, nothing's going to get done. And the problem with that is I'm going to get more guys reaching out to me saying, dude, I bought 2 Solar guitars. They both had issues and I sold them both. Like, why? Why should that even be an option? Like, guys should feel comfortable saying, hey, this is the issue that I have. Do you have a luthier that you work with here in the United States that I can ship it to, so they can just fix it for 50 fucking bucks? You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be, if you spent $1,300, you shouldn't have to shell out another $150 to send it to Europe so you can finally get your new guitar 2 months later. Like, that's just, I don't know. That's just me. You know what I mean? Like, that, all of those stories make me not want to ever order anything out overseas. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just deal directly with Sweetwater, because I know I can buy a $5,000 guitar, and if I don't like it, that shit gets shipped back and I get all my money back, all of it, and free shipping. You guys need to step up to the plate and do what's right for your customers, because right now, dudes are not happy. Dudes are not happy. All right, guys. Hey, again, no disrespect to the company, no disrespect to Ola. You guys are doing what you're doing, but, I'm sorry if I have to be the guy that says you guys can step up to the plate and do a little more, because by doing that extra little complaining to the factory owner and their production manager, it'll resolve issues before you know, guys get it here in the US and everyone's losing it. All right, guys. Hey, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And as usual, thank you for watching. And I will talk to you soon.